Welcome, I'm Chris, and in this Hypnotic Authenticity episode, we're exploring an aspect of nice guy syndrome. It's that ingrained pattern of avoiding conflict by constantly putting others' needs first. So, this episode is an invitation to understand what keeps the patterns running and how to choose a better way forward. The goal isn't to fix it, it's to find the courage to choose a better way. Let's begin. Hi, I'm going to do a video today about relationships. So this is in the vein of all the videos that I've done about nice guys, about men who believe there are elements of their masculinity that are better off if they're hidden. And so they try to be as nice as possible, especially to women, in order to get their needs met. So we're going to talk about that predominantly from this aspect of relationships. And I'll try and keep it short, but obviously this is a massive subject. So let me throw out a couple of scenarios, okay, because these tend to be very common. Perhaps you don't have much feeling as to role models, male role models from your upbringing. Perhaps it was very hard for you to express your needs directly in your upbringing. Perhaps exhibiting your emotions was taboo at home. Okay? If any of that resonates, what I'm saying is that when people develop a manipulative strategy, it's not necessarily because they're bad guys. It's a rational response to the way that they grew up. Okay. So if you grow up in an environment where it's impossible to be direct, to express the fact that you have human emotions, if it's impossible to get a gauge from your family system as to what are healthy emotions and what are not, right? So that story inside of you is a sort of a maelstrom. Well, you can either ask for your needs to be met directly by asking for them, or you can go in the back door. You can go about it in surreptitious ways in the hope that you get your needs met by other people somehow picking up on it. Yeah. And that allows you to keep the peace, to maintain a sort of a steady base within the family system. So there's no stress that as a child you can't deal with. That becomes a habitual way of getting your needs met from childhood that you just kind of continue all the way through. And typically, whatever your habitual responses are, they tend to be the things which are most exhibited in relationships, right? Because these are close, intimate relationships where it's much harder to maintain a mask. You tend to revert to type. If that makes sense to you, then let me throw out the scenario which probably repeats itself ad nauseum when it comes to relationships. So because you are accustomed to getting your needs met through the back door rather than the front door, rather than being direct, it's very uncomfortable to upset someone. It's very uncomfortable to say no to someone. What I'm going to hazard a guess is occurring is that you either have no relationship at all because it's too dangerous, or if you do, you are trying to ingratiate yourself with the other person. You're trying to appear perfect, not like the other guys that are animalistic and rude and who burp and slather. You're trying to be an angel. And the idea being that if you can build a symbiotic relationship with somebody, they think you're so fabulous, they're going to treat you like an angel, and you're going to get your needs met. Now, imagine that your partner, the other person, also grew up in a family scenario like the one that I was describing before. If that's the case, then you end up in a codependent relationship because both of you are in a similar boat of being unable to express your needs directly, but both desperately trying to claw away to get your needs met. If your partner is not like that, if they grow up in a healthy environment and they have a healthy attachment style, then the relationship is going to end up manipulative because you're the one then who doesn't know how to get your needs met. So you kind of go through the early stages of your relationship showing how amazing that this connection that you have with the other person is, that it's extraordinary, that everything is like manna from heaven. Okay. But actually what's going on in the background is that you're desperately trying to please this other person. So suddenly it's not that your music tastes are absolutely in sync with each other. It's not that you both went to the same restaurant or went to the same school or all that kind of synchronicity stuff. It's that you're portraying a story to them which is allowing them to come to that conclusion. Sort of passive aggressive, manipulative. They come to the conclusion, therefore, that wow, this is amazing. I found my soulmate. But you're playing a role to make sure that they think you're amazing, so that they're going to be nice to you. Okay, and that probably kind of works for a while, but then it doesn't deliver what you really need, because for a start off, it's a massive effort for you to continue playing that role. Plus, the other person doesn't really know what it is that you need. They're constantly kind of guessing. And even when they do get it right, they're getting it right for the act that you're portraying. So sometimes you have to deny your real needs in order to maintain consistency with the mask that you're wearing. So it never really works. And typically what happens is they'll come to a crunch point where you kind of get angry, where it's like, this isn't working. Really, really frustrated. And then you turn from the angel into a demon. Literally turn, flip into a demon. Oh, that's not working. Look at all the effort that I've put in. Why aren't you delivering what I want you to? This is rubbish. This has always been rubbish. Blah, 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 blah. The other person at this time, their jaw is hanging down because they've suddenly seen a person that they didn't see before. Whereas to you, this is blatantly obvious because you were like this all along. As far as you're concerned, you have just reverted to type. It's just that before you weren't portraying type. For your poor partner, they are now looking at a new person and wondering, what on earth has occurred? They don't even know if they know you anymore. They thought they did, but it turns out it's not really you. Does that make sense? What's going on is because you are unable to express your authenticity, because you are unable to be direct in who and what you are as an individual, it's too risky to expose certain elements of yourself to, especially to an intimate partner who could potentially hurt you. Instead, because you still are a human being, you still have needs, you still want to feel love, you still want to feel secure and cared for, and being understood, and seeing yourself through somebody else's eyes, and feeling physical warmth and touch and all that great normal stuff. But somehow or other, that's not possible to be expressed. And so you go about it through these mechanisms which cannot possibly deliver, because they're not in alignment with the core of you, because the core of you somehow or other has to be stuffed down. More interestingly than that, you can then look into why and how do people pick the partners that they do, and how much of it is explicit and how much of it is implicit. And are there elements of your partner that you kind of get attracted to because maybe they give you a sense of control, or maybe they give you a sense of play, elements of your life that are not there that you can suck on someone else's from, or maybe their character reminds you of elements of your childhood, of your mum or your dad. There's a whole variety of subconscious reasons why we can become attracted, without really wittingly becoming aware of it, to the people that we pick as partners. So the thing to do is to question. It's to ask, what are the needs that I am implicitly playing all my cards on, rolling all my dice on? And what is it that I am really, really angry about when I don't get? What is all this effort going towards that the other person just isn't getting? And is it all their fault that they're not getting it? And therefore you're going to turn to be the real you. Question what are those needs, and question what is the problem with expressing it directly. Question what are the familiarities with what's going on at the minute. What are the safety points? What are the areas that make you feel as if you're not rocking the boat? As if somehow or other you're maintaining a sense of stability inside the relationship, whilst nonetheless hopefully getting a little bit of what it is that you're looking for. Because what you're doing is you're learning about yourself to the point where it's less scary to express that to somebody else. Because the way that you have a fantastic relationship with someone else is by expressing your truth, by being you, by being spontaneous, by being powerful, by being energetic and vivacious and flamboyant, being driven, being motivated, knowing who you are and expressing it and taking a risk that's just you. And it might be crazy, but isn't that what intimate relationships are all about? It's about releasing your joy. So when all of that has a lid upon it and you resort to these covert tactics to get your needs met, well, I mean, put yourself in the position of the receiver of that. When someone is trying to manipulate you into doing something that you don't want to do, you'll do anything to run a million miles away from that scenario. We're all the same. It's not going to work. So dig into it. Dig into what's going on. Lean into the feelings. Ask what is the meaning underneath the feelings and go with that. And if you can, express it to your partner. Consider this. The person that your partner thought he or she was with, that's not you. They don't know you. They think they know you, right? Just consider that for a moment. So it cannot possibly work because our nature comes out from time to time, and then they wonder what on earth it is that they're stood staring at. In order to receive what it is that you're wanting to receive from someone else, to receive their love, even their acceptance, well, they have to see you authentically, right? They have to see you in your truth, kind of warts and all, and go, all right, you're not perfect. You've got flaws. Everybody got flaws, but I admire you. You can't receive admiration from someone when you're portraying a lie. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole idea of masks, because even when you throw away your mask, there's another mask underneath. Right? It's not as if suddenly you expose absolutely everything, but that the choice is yours rather than running on a sort of a programmed avoidance. You express yourself and you own your reality and you choose. You respond rather than reacting. You respond, and this is just freeing. It's a wonderful freeing result. I hope that's interesting. Go chew on it. It kind of ties in a little bit with the games people play. It ties in with narcissism, with manipulation. I mean, the whole thing is a circle. All the world's a stage. All right. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you for listening. If it supported you in some way or helped you to question your inner experience, then follow the show. Personally, I would be really grateful if you might also leave a quick rating. It makes a huge difference in terms of discoverability so that other people who might benefit can find the podcast. If you prefer a visual element, check out Authentic Life Hypnosis on YouTube. And if you're looking for deeper work beyond one-way audio yourself, you're very welcome to reach out. Equally, if you have any questions, I'm here to help. Until next time,